Hi, I'm Richard Randall, and welcome to Your Real Estate Voice with Barb Schlinker, the owner of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. This is the weekly radio show that informs and educates you on how to buy or sell real estate with Colorado's real estate authority, Barb Schlinker. Barb Schlinker is a retired Navy veteran. Barb is an author. Barb is also a pilot, and Barb and her team enjoy all that Colorado and the Front Range have to offer. Barb, always great to be talking with you. Now, we air Your Real Estate Voice every Saturday. And remember, if you can't listen to the entire show, it is always available on Barb's site, barbhasthebuyers.com, or go ahead and search Barb on most of the popular podcast platforms like iHeartRadio, as well as others. Every week, Your Real Estate Voice covers great information about the housing market and one of most people's largest assets, your home. Barb, what are we talking about today?
Well, Richard, I don't have great news to report on the market stats. It seems like the average price has been dropping, dropping, dropping. In fact, this last week it dropped significantly. So we're going to talk about the market stats and what you can do about it right now. That's the very first topic. And then I love talking about helping people get their houses ready for sale because it is the number one question I get from consumers. What do I do? What do I not do to get my house ready for sale? And everybody's situation is completely different. Like, depends on whether or not the house is empty, depends on who lives in the house. All these factors come into play, and we can work with any of it. Also, the third item is the contract provisions that home sellers really should watch out for. And we're going to kind of deep dive into some of the written things that are put into the contract and what's controlling and what's not. Because at the end of the day, that is what counts, the written word. Excuse me. The very last topic I'm going to cover, near and dear to my heart, how to get a cash offer on your home. In fact, not just one, but 4 to 6 to 8 multiple cash offers. And as always, I love talking about my hot new listings. Richard?
Now, Barb, the real estate market has had some recent turmoil, which could be good for buyers and not so good for sellers.
Yeah.
Explain that to us if you would.
Well, Richard, I watched the real estate statistics. It's kind of an averages, and to be honest, every home is unique and every home is special. But we're seeing some big changes in the market right now. I mean, we've just come off 4 years of flying high, prices soaring, short days on market. And looking back in my almost 3 decades of doing this, I know that that is not normal. A normal market, a balanced market would be if the average days on market is over 90 days. We're right now, this week, up to 89 days on market. So it sends a signal to a lot of buyers agents, hey, come on, let's go ahead and lowball that offer, or let's go ahead and ask for a bunch of concessions, because chances of us being up against another buyer competing for the home are less, right? So that's one of the issues. So what we've seen just in the past week, the median list price has dropped by over $5,000. The average days on market went up by 4 days in a week. And we're seeing about half the sellers reducing their price. And some are just waiting. A lot of people are taking their house off the market. There's still a lot of people out there that are sitting on really low interest rates. And maybe they wait through the holidays and go in during the spring season. So the inventory is relatively flat. Now, one of the leading indicators, meaning it's a way to project forward about what's going to happen in the market, is the number of pending sales. And even those are down. If you look back to last year this time, though, the good news is they are more than they were last year this time. During this time last year, the interest rates were up over 8%. Right now, we're up over 7%. So we are seeing more pending sales than a year ago. We are seeing an overall slow increase in price. So the market's not really that bad. It's just that I feel like we've gotten accustomed to everything flying off the shelf and buyers having to compete for houses and all that. So the market definitely has changed a lot. Average days on market is just coming up on 90 days. That's kind of the magic number where it gets tagged as what we call a balanced market. And we have not seen that for a long, long time. Now, what does that mean? It means if a home seller is going to put their house on the market and they're going to price it in an average way, on average, if it is worth that much and they're willing to wait that long and endure showing after showing and buyers nitpicking the home and all that stuff, on average, it's going to take 90 days. You really have to, if you want to move sooner than that, you really have to position the home to be the best home on the block for that week. So pushing the price envelope right now is just not working. And then I mentioned that there are some sellers that are just withdrawing from the market. They're going to wait until the market may look better. Thankfully, we came through the election. So there's a bit more, in my belief, of certainty about where our country is going, both financially and many other ways. But the financial piece is really interesting because the Fed is saying they're going to lower the rates or keep it the same. But what's weird is that doesn't necessarily always translate to mortgage interest rates going down. In fact, in the past two cuts, the Fed cut almost 0.75%, and the mortgage interest rates went up more than that. They went up almost 1%. So mortgage interest rates are definitely an indicator of how many buyers are going to be out looking for homes. And it's all about affordability for buyers. Can I handle that payment? So I think, the other thing that's going on right now is if it's true that over 87% of real estate agents that get into the industry get out within 5 years, most of them have never seen a market where the prices are declining or correcting. I don't think it's a crash, to be honest with you. I look at markets all over the country. I have lots of friends and colleagues in my mastermind group all over the country. Real estate is definitely very local. Colorado is still a high demand place because it's beautiful, even in the wintertime. So there's a lot of people that want to live here. And I think that if you look at some of the areas like Florida is seeing a big decrease in prices all around the state. And I think the hurricanes had a lot to do with it. The cost of insurance has a lot to do with it. So they're seeing a bit of a correction right now. We are too, but I don't think it's as steep as what they're getting. They're getting anywhere from 10 to 35% correction in all the major markets all around Florida, especially the places where we're getting hurricanes. Now, the inventory has shown pretty much not much change. What does that mean? Homes are bought and sold every single day. However, the number of available homes at any one given moment tends to be pretty much, some of it is seasonal, I will say that. Some of it has to do with supply and demand. So back when during 2022, when we had a huge low interest rate environment, there were a lot of people that were just jumping on buying homes because the cost of buying a home in the monthly payment was actually less than it would be to rent. If you look at this chart that's in front of me right now, it compares the median or middle price up against the inventory. So the green line is the inventory. The black line is the median price. So what we're seeing this year in particular is the inventory actually has gone up to over 2,100 homes in El Paso County, and the median price has dropped down into the low fives. Now, we see that number fluctuate all over the place. Some of it is seasonality. We know if you look back in April, the median price was much higher, but in April, what we see is there's a lot of military moving in and out of Colorado Springs area during that time. There are fewer homes on the market, so the prices tend to spike up in the springtime. But I know interest rates have a play in this. And if you go back in time to 2022, the middle of 2022, the inventory was really, really down until the Fed stepped on the interest rate number and more than doubled it. And all of a sudden it just ballooned. So we are seeing the inventory come on the market right now, and I think that that could be a good thing for buyers because they'll have more homes to choose from, and the prices are dropping just a little bit right now. Okay. Interest rates are another huge factor. So since I posted this one, the rates went up even more. I think we're at 7.09% for a 30-year fixed, and we're at 6.39 for a VA. But there's a whole bunch of lenders, a whole bunch of builders that are offering deals on interest rates. So don't let that discourage you. Get out there and look if you're thinking of buying. So the difference is with buyers, they have more choices. The key for sellers is getting the 4 P's right. Preparation to make sure your home looks great, picking the right agent, pricing it right. Don't overprice a home right now. It'll sit on the market for way longer than the 89 days, and to make sure it's promoted properly as well. So if you are thinking of making a move, give us a call at 719-301-3900. We have over 28,000 buyers just in our database of buyers and waiting, plus almost 70 cash buyers that will make offers. We show up with offers on your house, and you can decide and go from there. My name is Barb Schlinker. I'm the host of the show, Your Real Estate Voice, and the broker owner of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Barb has the buyer's team. So what we're talking about is how prices are dropping right now and what you can do about it. And when we come back, we're going to touch on some tips on what to do if prices are dropping. Richard?
Barb, we're discussing the current real estate market and how people can be prepared if they want to buy or to sell. So, what are some home sellers and what should they expect and do in a market situation just like this one?
Well, there's a lot of buyers right now sitting on the sideline because they're going, okay, well, maybe the prices will come down some more. And I get that philosophy. However, once we see the rates drop a little bit, there's going to be a bunch of buyers jump back into the market, and they're going to have competition. Whereas there are some lenders and some builders that are offering fabulous introductory interest rates right now. Plus, a lot of people don't know, in many cases, you can refinance your loan for no out-of-pocket cost. So, and no matter what kind of market we're in, even during the meltdown back in 2008, anytime there was a good deal that hit the market, the buyers jump on it. Okay, and they're going to be in it for the long term. I have one on the market right now, actually just closed yesterday, that was priced below market because it has cosmetic issues. But we got it sold right away. We didn't have to wait for months and months, even though there were some buyers that looked at it and said, oh, it needs too much work and all that. But it was just a paint problem. That's all it was. And it was priced really, really aggressively. So it's absolutely critical that you pick the right team, because I would say a majority of the agents right now, unless they're old timers like me, they've never seen a down market and they don't know what to do. And we know how to help you get ready so that when you go on the market, you're going to be positioned to be the best home on the block, and you won't have to wait for 3 or more months to sell your home. So if you are thinking of moving, give us a call, 719-301-3900, or go to barbhasthebuyers.com. Richard?
You're listening to Your Real Estate Voice. That's Barb Schlinker of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. And if you are thinking of making a move, call Barb, 719-301-3900, or visit barbhasthebuyers.com. We'll take a short break. When we come back, we're going to be discussing how to get your home ready for sale. You don't want to miss that.